Hello everyone and welcome back to another HDAB video. Today you find me back here in a model railway room after a very long time indeed. I promised I'd do some more videos in here. I simply never got the chance to do it. I didn't have the time. I ran out. I was doing other things. Life got in the way. Did they just flicker? Anyway, we're here today and we're doing another review. And I can clarify, they did just flicker. Very nice. So then, this model I actually promised to review probably well over 5 months ago now, in the previous review I did on the channel, which was in fact the wonderful Oxford Rail Mark III coach. And the loco in today's video, I did say loco, I didn't specify what sort, but it is a locomotive, and that locomotive is here. The Bachmann Class 24-1 in the Derby RTC livery. As you can see, it's blue and red just in the box, but we'll take it down there in a minute and I'll show you me unboxing it. I got this model in, when did I buy it? Probably April 2021, so I've owned it quite a while now. Or was it? Yeah, it might have been. Was it April 2021? 2022? Something like that. I can't remember quite when it was, but I paid £152 for it in the Dingwall model shop, and its RRP is £179.95. So the model shop gave it about 20-something% discount. It knocked about 20 quid off it, roughly 25 quid, something like that. So that is good. So let's take it down there, like I said a second ago, and let's unbox it properly and find out what's actually inside this. So then, here we are down onto the ground with the wonderful Bachmann Class 24-1 in front of you. Like I said, the box, there isn't much on it. It is actually very representative of the model inside. It's blue, it's red, the model is blue and red. And that's really all I've got to say. It says on the end of the box, 32-444, Class 24-1, 97-201, Experiment, PR, RTC, blue and red. Got a 21-pin DCC socket, and the barcode number is there, but obviously nobody needs that, and also there's the price as well. The other end, as it slides out, Bachmann Europe, that's just the address for Bachmann Europe, I don't need to read that. And on the bottom of the box is a brief history of the Class 24-1. So pause that if you want to read it. It's also made in China, which is very, very good quality. A sign of quality from Bachmann, made in China. And also there's some words of wisdom there on the right as well. Also there it is in Spanish and German. The folding box is recyclable. Die Verstuhl Recyclefaching esta gadja y recyclable. I butchered that. So, as I butcher spelling and pronunciations, let's just open the box and do my job. So, I'll just slide the first sleeve off just like this. Satisfying, and I'll just wipe the thick layer of dust that's accumulated on top of the box. Obviously then we've got this fairly sturdy second layer, just like this. So if I just tip it upside down, hopefully it comes out. And some pieces of paper have fallen out, so I'll just move that to the side. Move this to the side. What have we got here then? We have got joining us at Bachmann Collectors Club. I don't want to join them, so that can go away. And then we've got a instruction manual on the Class 24 diesel locomotive. Owner's information, we've got the parts and stuff and fitting parts and so on and so forth. So what else? Have we got an exploded diagram on here? No, we don't. So we can't actually see what sort of mechanism we've got inside, but obviously I won't be taking it apart because I don't want to ruin it. And also there's a thing here about the chassis switches. It has got directional lighting. I'll try and show you that later on, but here you get a rough idea of body removal and stuff like that. So we don't need that for the time being, so we'll just lob that out of the shot. And we're on to the next layer. Ooh, it's shining a shine on the wall. I don't know what I'm saying that for, but I'm just excited to review this model, to be honest. So we'll take off the flimsy plastic bit, so it's just like past the parcel this, passing it round between myself. Had a good shot. Right, here we have got a detail bag. There's lots of detail in there. In fact, lots and lots of detail. It's probably the fullest detail bag I've ever seen. It's got like head codes and stuff, and bits and bobs, pipes, little yellow things. I don't intentionally know what they are, but whatever they are, it's good to see. There's some vacuum pipes there, there's some steps to add into the side of the model, but as that's fiddly and take a lot of effort, I won't be adding any of that, not in this video at least, or ever. So, we'll safely put that away, and now we're on to the final layer, which is of course the snake. So, prepare for horrible noise. That wasn't too bad. We'll take this thing off, just like this. We've got some protective tissue, I don't know if you can see that, but we have got it. And let me take out the model, so just move the plastic snake. And here it is in the flesh, and feeling it, yes, very heavy. I can see lots of detail on the model already, lots of separately fitted parts, and that paint is just, well, beautiful. So, I'll give you a brief history about the Class 24 and 97-201, the one represented in my hands just here, and then I'll put it on a piece of track and show you the detail up close and personal then. Right, let's go. The British Rail Class 24 diesel locomotives, originally known as the Saucer Type 2, were built from 1958 to 1961. 150 were built at Derby, Crewe and Darlington Works, the first 20 of them as part of British Railway's 1955 modernisation plan, which is to get rid of steam locomotives on the network and replace them with modern and more up-to-date diesel trains. In November 1975, 24061 was transferred to BR's research department based at Derby Works and was allocated the number RDB 968007. This loco was subsequently renumbered as 97201, as seen like the model, and was finally withdrawn on the 4th of December 1987. So then, here is the wonderful Class 24-1 onto the ground for you then, and look how beautiful it looks up close. That paintwork is just reflecting off of my torch that I'm using. Just beautiful. So, I'm going to head around the model and just show you all the individual sort of bits that make it shine on it, and then, well, later on we'll get it running on the railway and see how it runs. So then, as we come closer into the model itself, you really get to appreciate the detail up close and personal, just like these handrails on the side of all 4 cab doors. They're picked out in white. They do look a little bit chunky, but then if you look behind them, they are separately fitted. There is a very small gap behind them that goes the whole way along the model. So it's nice to see. I think they just look a little bit chunky because they're picked out in that white, which also is a running theme throughout the model. As you can see, the number and the plaque below it is painted in white, and it looks very nice indeed. It's also the white banding that goes the whole way along the model, and I can't actually see any paint bleeding there, which is just truly fantastic. That's very good to see. And also continuing on with the white theme, you can see the British Rail plaque, thingy-majiggy logo, whatever you would call it, there as well. And also continuing with the white, I didn't even notice this, but the wheels, the rounds of the wheels, like the wheel walls, whatever you want to call them, are also picked out in white, which is a very nice addition indeed. So what else is here then, apart from white things? We've got, well, the paint. I mentioned that a minute ago. Look how shiny and nice and crisp that looks, the blue there on the bottom, just BR Rail blue. Then the Derby RTC red there. The livery just is sort of, what's the word, perfectly balanced across the model. I really like that. And then above the red there, there's another blue line that goes the whole way along the model, which looks very nice as well. Then I'm just pointing at it, there's the flush windows there. They look also very nicely modern, and well, to scale they don't look chunky at all, and there's that little red band there that I'm just sort of pointing at right now. Underneath this then, the bogie area is very nicely detailed with lots of separately fitted things. I think the ladders in the display, detail bag that's in the model are just spares in case these ones break off, because I have got some older Class 24s and a Class 25. They're about 20 years old now, so they're from the early 2000s, obviously Bachmann ones as well, and a lot of the ladders off them ones are missing, so I might actually at a later date replace the ladders from the detail bag off of this one and put them on them ones, just so it's got some actual ladders. Just in front of that you can see the sanders there. They're also nicely separately picked out, and lots of bogie detail as well on there, with springs and other bits and bobs throughout the model. We've also got this little white and red plaque thing. I presume that's some sort of danger sign or something like that on this bogie. Down the model then, there's a lot of detail as well. We've got these grills on the side. Are they etched? Are they etched? Yes, they are, as you can hear by the sort of frog croaking sound on all of them. That's satisfying, but it's quite annoying, so I'll stop. Also, underneath here on the fuel tanks, we've got some nice separately fitted and picked out in different coloured pipes. Just there, we've got a white one in the middle, we've got some sort of valve thing there, we've got some orange pipes, the same colour as the valve there, just over here. And also the fuel tank is nicely detailed with some moulded parts along it as well. Got some more things on the side, just nicely picked out. We've got rivets there, they look very nice indeed. And just here, we've got a separately fitted sort of handle thing. I have no idea what that is, but I can presume it's something from like a workshop. If they're lifting the top off, a crane attaches to it. That's my presumption. I don't know the full fact. But anyway, going down, you can also see the experiment nameplate. Unfortunately, that's not etched or anything, but that's fine. It looks very nice there, as you can see, picked out in white and black. It's very fine with no paint bleeding on there at all, which is very good. And just up here, there's also a larger grill, which does make the noise as well. Also, I was just saying about the name, there isn't any sort of etched names in the package included with it, which is a shame, but then again, does it really need them if the nameplate looks that fine? I'll say no. Taking a look at the end of the model then shows yet more detail with some separately fitted handrails here. In fact, on the 20-year-old models they are there as well, but they just look slightly chunkier, so on this model it's an improvement again over the other models because these ones are nice and fine to scale. Above that we've got some more of those lovely flush windows, and these ones have got the windscreen wipers on them as well. Then we've got all the little lights there, they're all working, they all have bulbs in them, which is very nice to see, and just next to them we've got the sort of Danger overhead live wire sticker there as well. That's good. Underneath that we've got some lamp brackets and some more detail, but obviously you can add the detail out of the detail bag. Don't know why I said detail so much then, but it's very detailed indeed. And also just below that we've got some nice sprung buffers. Let me just demonstrate those for you. Very springy and very buffery. And showing the model is also very modern. We've got the nice addition of the slightly different bogie just here on this side. We've got like, what is that? I'm gonna presume it's something to do with like testing, because this logo obviously was used by the Derby RTC, which was like the network rail of the 1970s and 80s. So it's something to do with that, but that's a nice addition that wouldn't be on most of the models of this type, such as just a standard class 24, because this one is, as you can see, a class 97, just a 24 with like a Derby RTC number. Also, there's a slight difference just at this end. I don't know if you can see, just like to the right where the BR thing is, there's another one of these grill things, which also makes an annoying noise, and that is just another excuse to do this. Showing you the top of the model then, you get to see more of those wonderful little rivets just to the left of the fan. And speaking of the fan, look at that. It spins. I'm a very big fan of that indeed. So then, here's the base of the model then. In terms of detail, there's not much here. You can see the bottom of the bogies with the continued detail around there. That's very nice. We've got those screws that were mentioned in the instructions, and the Bachmann logos there on both bogies. But the real thing I was showing you about the bottom is this, the three-way switch, which controls the directional lighting on each end of the model. We might have a play with that later. I'll definitely show you it in action and the lights and stuff, if I can be bothered, like flicking the switches and stuff and faffing around with that. I'll see in due course. Right then, you now find me down on the railway, and since last time there has been some changes. We've now got a bus station and other things around the layout. But that's not the focus of today's video. The focus of today's video is actually coming down onto the tracks right now. If my massive hands can put it on the track, on the second radius Hornby track from like the 1980s. There we go, there it is, down onto the railway. It's on. It's there. How brilliant. But the reason we've put it on the railway is just to show its performance. So, I've got the controller set up at the bottom. I'm going to apply power. I don't know which way it's going to be going, but we'll apply power and we'll find out. Right. Oh, it's coming this way. And straight away, it's moving. It's moving indeed. And it's very smooth. It's very smooth indeed. It's so quiet as well. Like, listen. How wonderful is that? That's just creeping past. such a far cry away even from like the 20-year-old Bachmann models, which run equally as good. But it's just that, but just smooth and quieter. I love it. I've fallen in love, and I have since I bought it, to be honest. I just wanted this model because I love the livery, and I always have done, but to have a modern Bachmann Class 24, a reliable loco in the fleet, is just truly fantastic. So, I'll run it past at a fair speed now, just to give you an idea of what it can actually do. So, we just flick the switch and I'll just zoom it past at top speed. Yes, it does fairly go like the clappers. And I've noticed something on this model compared to, say, a 20-year-old Bachmann model. It doesn't come with a flywheel. So if I just speed it and then just slow it, it doesn't come to a continued stop. It just sort of stops abruptly. That's a sort of downy sort of feature of the model, but again, it's not really that big of a deal. It still runs brilliantly, as you can see. Speaking of running brilliantly, let's see how slow we can get it. I'll just flick the switch again. Right, applying power. That's very slow indeed. That's like creeping. How slow can we go though? That's doing good. Alright, it has stopped there, so that's about the limit. But then again, you wouldn't really need to be going any slower than that if you were just moving it around the railway. So, like I said, it's a brilliant runner. I like it a lot. And yeah, basically, there's another test I quickly want to do with it, so I'll just move the camera to the right. And that is the points test. So we're just going to bring the locomotive past the shot. It focuses now, doesn't it? I'm going to quickly flick this switch just here. And we're going to bring it across the points and head over there. No bother at all going across the points. Right, we'll try it the other way a little bit faster this time. Yeah, completely fine. A little bit of a bump there from the front wheel, but yeah, that's adequate. Go over even quicker, see if it derails. Hopefully it doesn't, but yeah, genuinely completely fine. Here's the model running round the layout then, and doesn't it look good indeed? It's just coming across the crossing. As you can see, there's those lights at the front, and at the back we've got red tail lights. You can also change them to have like less lights and more lights and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not going to be bothered demonstrating that because I've just told you, and that's what that switch does on the bottom. You can see it's just going around nice and slowly, nice and smoothly. There's no need to run this model in because I did that when I got it, and I have been running it now for over a year and a half basically. But then, our final test before I conclude the review is just pulling a train. So as it comes past the crossing one final time, we'll make our way up towards Wick Railway Station. So we're almost here now at the railway station, our fake Wick in double O gauge. Obviously it's not quite Wick. Oh, here's the Class 24. I'll stop ranting. Right, let's see how well it couples up to the teak coach. Obviously this is a sort of different type of coupling. We've got the NEM coupling on the left and we've got the Hornby D-type coupling on the right. But we'll couple up and see how well it does. And as you can see, that was perfect. And let's see a nice controlled departure of 97 to a 1. Just got a rake of 3 coaches behind it, so not much to haul, but hopefully it gives a representation of what it can pull. As you can see, it's handling it quite well. In fact, perfectly. As the Blood and Custard train passes the camera, we've got Hornby Teak, a mainline Midland coach, and then we've got a Mark 1 just at the back. Nice and slowly departing Wick Railway Station. And here it comes again then, just as it approaches the signal box on the left. Still handling it very well, no derailment so far, working perfectly. Such a good runner, I love it. Maybe it's one of my new favourite models, but I'd say that about anyone, to be honest, that I have. So then, what are my personal thoughts about the Bachmann Class 24/1? Well, my first thought is, wow, what a model. All the detail, the paintwork is perfect, and its performance is even better. Just look how beautifully it pulls that. just looks so good. And I know it's not realistic at calling Mark I's and Midland coaches and antiques in Blood and Costa livery, but it's my railway and I don't care. It's a heritage railway. My railway is based on a heritage railway, so it can pull all it wants. And in fact, the real version of this would maybe pull this in the future. But there's a chance, because it is preserved, the real 24 that it is based on. So yeah, obviously it's at the North Uxtramores Railway. Whether it runs again in the future is questionable, but then again, it could happen. I said could loosely. Anyway, that's the end of the review now. I'll watch it come past once more, and I'll say goodbye. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. There's a link to the model and product down below if you want to pick one up for yourself. And I'll see you on the next one. Right, see you later guys.